Hello, hello. Mic check, mic check.
There he is.
All right. All right. So, sorry about the issues, guys. Not sure what happened. I was just talking a second ago and then whatever. All right. So, first of all, hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's Brass AMA. We're doing things a little bit differently this week. As you can tell, we decided to hold this one directly on Discord. Because we wanted this to be a bit more community based. We wanted to connect directly with everybody here and get some thoughts and some, just ask you guys some questions and have some honest feedback and conversations with you guys. But we'll get more into that a little bit later. We do have a lot of exciting updates to share. So we value your time, and we always want to start our AMA on time and follow the schedule as much as possible. So before we introduce the team, a quick reminder about our weekly raffle. We're giving away a Brass Genesis NFT, which offers lifetime benefits. This includes access to our bot, platform, and all future AI tools. To enter, engage with us during this AMA by asking questions and participating in this conversation. All you have to do to participate is you can raise your hand to ask a question if you'd like to speak on the stage, where we will then bring you up to the stage. Or if you're not as comfortable speaking on voice, perfectly fine. Just go over into the chat directly here on the AMA stage. Just go right over there, ask your questions right there, communicate with us directly here in the chat, and that will count as well. And also, don't forget to go on to Twitter and give us a share on our announcement that we posted just a couple days ago. It really, really helps out. So let's go ahead and introduce our team. Brett, our founder and CEO, will kick us off, followed by Mark, as everybody knows, is our incredible community manager.
Yeah, thanks so much, James. So, hello, everybody. My name is Brett Butler. I'm the CEO and co founder of Brass Energy. For those of you who don't know me, my background was really in all sorts of entrepreneurship. I was in real estate for a little bit. I did that. I was actually a fully licensed financial advisor where I managed just under $50 million worth of client funds, got all of the licenses, but when I was graduating from college in 2015, I just happened amongst a wing and a prayer to put some money into Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Ripple over the next couple of years. Had no idea what I was doing and saw it explode up in value. And so from that, I dove in headfirst. I was a community manager. I was a liaison to multiple projects. I was an investment advisor to be able to really help connect people to good projects. Raised over $10 million for a couple different ones. Took a project to over $100 million market cap. And that's when I saw kind of the good, the bad, the ugly in crypto and Web3. Unfortunately, about a month before my equity and tokens were about to vest, the founder ran away with the funds, and I was pretty much left out to dry. I had built it to over 50,000 users. There was a ton of team members that reported to me, and at that moment, I kind of had to take a step back and say, okay, the technology, the people in here are some of the best in the entire world, but there's got to be a way to where we can be able to connect good people with good projects and really provide opportunity, whether people are working, they're investing, they're trying to learn more about crypto and Web3, that they could do so in a safe environment. And so from that, was able to connect with Ryan, James, and Mark, and we've been off to the races ever since. We've been building kind of this vetted talent ecosystem that sources, validates, and matches people with opportunities. And we're just beginning. So I know we'll go deeper into that throughout today's session. As James said, we really want you guys to be involved in this. So when we look at kind of the evolution from a development cycle, as well as we build this out, we want to take in you guys' ideas. So that's a little bit more about me, my background, kind of the genesis story of Brass Synergy. And then from there, I will kick it over to Mark to introduce himself, and then over to James. So Mark, you want to go ahead?
Yeah, you guys know me already. I'm Mark, the community manager here for Brass Synergy. Guys know already how I started, but basically, I started with Accelerate as a moderator, worked my way up until to becoming a partner of James here. So yeah, basically, I can do anything as long as you want me to, right? Yeah, thank you guys so much. That's basically me.
Awesome. I mean, so modest because there's a lot more to you than that. But hi, everybody. My name is James. You don't hear from me as much, but I am the chief community officer, co-founder, and the bot developer for Brass Synergy. Been around Web3 since about 2017, 2018. Got my start with Steemit.com, where I helped different communities on their grow. It was the first ever social media platform on blockchain, built on top of blockchain tech. They had their own blockchain, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I've always been interested in the intersection of tech and community. It's been kind of at the forefront of everything I do, both Web 2 and also into Web 3. Fast forward to 2021, NFTs came out. And I was pretty ardently opposed to them at first. I thought it was kind of ridiculous, but one of my friends said, "No, really, just go check it out. Hop into one of the communities, and you're going to see what it's all about." So I jumped in, and me being a community guy and loving um, how technology can bring people together from all diverse walks of life and give them a meaning to exist and be and provide value to each other. I said, yeah, this is exactly where I want to be. I saw that NFTs kind of gave people a pass into those communities to where they can exchange value, they can um, find connections, they can network, they can do so many different amazing things. So I jumped in headfirst, quit my full time Web 2 position. And became community manager for Creatures, very first NFT project on Solana. Built out Accelerate to manage 20 plus clients per week, almost 100 employees that we scaled to during 2022, 2023. Lots of fun. And been with Brass for a little over a year now. Really enjoy the community here, the project. The team is top notch. Mark is amazing. Brett, Ryan, salt of the earth guys, really genuine people. And yeah, a little bit about me. So anyway, enough chatter about that. Thank you guys for being here again. Let's go ahead and get to the latest news and highlights. Brett, what are some of the big wins for the last week that you want to share with the team or with the community?
Yeah, so this week has been a very productive week across the board. So, in terms of investors, we did receive some soft commitments for some capital, some smaller amounts, but at the end of the day, every dollar counts, especially when you are an early stage company. We also have been introduced to an angel investor network that's really interested in the bot and what we're doing. And so it kind of ties into our conversation today, where getting more feedback and information from the community and ideas and thoughts from you guys will hopefully allow us to be able to continue to bring in additional capital so we can really execute this vision. On the artwork side, we've been in communication with the NFT artist. We did receive updated variants of the NFT. He didn't really like how one of the variants came out. And so what he's doing is he's actually going through and making some massive updates to that. And so we should have an increased version by the end of the week. So we'll have our final two variations. We'll make a decision as a team on what exactly we want to be able to move forward with. And then all that will be left will be kind of the final lighting, positioning, any animations that we want to be able to put in there, and then we'll be able to ultimately reveal those to everybody as part of the pre-sale, and then ultimately being able to have them in. So lots of exciting stuff there. On the development side of things, as you guys know, James has done a fantastic job with the bot. We've really been playing out how can we be able to take the bot and what we are using it for and really be able to not only monetize it in the short term, but create other utilities and applications for it. And so throughout the rest of this presentation and kind of this conversation with you guys, we'll go through some of those ideas. But there's actually an experienced CTO and product developer that's very interested in wanting to work with James. He's created well over hundreds of products, has had multiple exits at over 100 million plus, had Mark Cuban invest in his last company, knows a ton of different people in the AI space that could be able to connect us to people for our Genesis Club. And I mean, just a great resource to be able to supplement what we're already doing and kind of be able to add on to the utility of the bot and kind of take it not only to market, but being able to take it in a direction that we may not have thought of originally. And James and Mark also have some fantastic ideas that we talked through with that. On the community side, we have continued to be able to grow. The allow list is just over 6,000 members, which is huge. Twitter, we've been able to maintain kind of our existing follower count. We did recognize that there were a bunch of inactive people on our Twitter. And really what we're focusing on is real people, real opportunities, and quality over quantity. And so being able to maintain that and being able to increase our engagement is a huge part of what we're doing. Same thing on Discord. We've been able to have the most engagement that we had previously, which really is a testament to Mark and James and the quality of work that they do. The last thing that I will mention is that on the marketing side of things, we are in talks with somebody to be able to assist on a go-to-market strategy, who is a phenomenal resource in the space. James and Mark have worked with this individual in the past. I don't want to give anything away or jinx it, but hopefully we could be able to get to something officially here soon. So that way we can be able to kind of announce their partnership with us and really take this project to new heights. So that's a little bit of updates on this past week. And then, we should have some more updates for you guys next week in all those different areas as well.
Hey guys, is it me cutting out, or can you guys hear me? Mic check 1 2.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay,
Yeah, we can
sorry.
hear you.
Brett was cutting out a little bit. I thought it might have been me going out. All right, thank you so much, Brett. Pretty great updates. And now that we've talked a bit about the updates, do we want to go over a little bit about the Genesis Pass? Kind of where we're at there on that. I know that you spoke a little bit about the art, but do you want to go over a little bit more about that before we get into the brainstorming Q&A?
Yeah, let's do that because I see there's a lot of questions that we'll be able to get to. So with regards to the Genesis Pass, for those of you that aren't familiar, it is the pinnacle asset within the ecosystem. So everything that we've talked about on our previous calls and everything that we will build in the future is really going to be tied to that. Meaning that when we bring up the other AI tools with the bot or the interview as a service that we talked about last week, and being able to really identify what makes someone successful in a particular role, being able to connect them to opportunities, the marketplace, the academy, and so much more in terms of ideas. The Genesis Pass gives you lifetime access to all of it. Whenever we kind of talk about some of the transition points and how we can be able to monetize the bot and everything that is a part of it, that is all going to be included. So Amabe actually brought up a question that I was going to highlight, yes. So for Genesis Pass holders, you will be able to have personalized experiences and concierge services. And what that could be able to translate to is like with the Genesis Club. So really being able to talk to our Genesis Pass holders and understand what are you guys looking for? Whether it's events, whether it's skills that you're going to want to be able to develop, whether it's a particular job, airdrops, bounties, investment opportunities, connections that we could be able to personalize for our Genesis Pass holders in the beginning, but also being able to evolve and roll that out through the greater community. So when we say that you guys our first kind of sounding board and you will have meaningful impact on the development of the project, those are things that we mean. So whether it's lifetime access, reduced fees, being able to have a revenue sharing component as a part of this, all of it will be included and is a part of our roadmap as of right now. In terms of what that timeline looks like, right now we are actively talking with Magic Eden. We're also finishing the artwork for the NFT. The big thing for us is being able to make sure that there is a pre-sale that we will be able to offer to our community as well as partnership communities prior to the mint. And so being able to get on that allow list and register for it gives you access to the specifics benefits as well as the earlier price points. So that could be as much as half of the mint price, which we're still trying to be able to push through and figure out what exactly we want just based on the allow list size. But when we look at it overall, you guys are going to have early access to all this. And there's a ton of lifetime benefits that you're going to be getting specifically with the Genesis Pass that apply to all areas of development.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Brett. I really appreciate that. And now that we've talked a bit about the Genesis Pass, we've answered, I think, a couple questions within there. We want to hear from you guys, and Dev123 Cool just asked a great question as well about um, how we're going to be doing the community feedback, or are we considering community feedback and request during product development to incorporate fresh ideas? And that's specifically why we're doing this AMA. We had this conversation over the last couple days and today specifically about really wanting to get with the community and engage you not just on the questions that you have from us or for us, but the questions that we have for you, things that we really want to know from you guys. So for the rest of the AMA, we'll still answer some questions for sure, definitely, but we definitely want to hear more from you. So we have some questions for you guys that we'd love your take on. And remember, answering these honestly, genuinely, that's what gets you onto the wheel every week for that free Genesis Pass NFT. So please give thoughtful responses and really think about these, because it really means a lot to hear what you guys think, get your ideas. Like Dev123 Cool said, you know, product development to incorporate fresh ideas. That's the phase we're at right now, and that's what we really want to do. So I want to kick it off, and we can answer some questions while you guys answer this question. Brett, I think this is the first time we've done this, so we're in fresh waters. But I think what would probably be cool here is I'll ask a question. Right. Let's go ahead and let them kind of give their feedback. You know, give some answers, etc. And while they're doing that for like a couple minutes, maybe you go down the list of questions we've already had, answer a couple of those, and then ask another one from them. And then just kind of go back and forth like that. At least try that out. What do you think?
Yeah, that works perfect.
Cool. All right. So my first question that I have for you guys, because we're always looking for ways to improve BrassBot and make it even more valuable for the community, we want to hear your thoughts on features that you'd like to see. What challenges you are specifically facing in Web3, finding a job in Web3, finding gigs in Web3, whatever those challenges are, how can we make the bot the ultimate tool for you and your freelance career and business? So that's kind of a open-ended question, and it's meant to be because I really want to know, like, what do you think? Like, how can we make it the ultimate bot, right? The ultimate bot for you, specifically you. What would be like if you had the pie in the sky dream and you're like, man, if this Discord bot can do just like this, and this is what I love. Drop those in the chat, please, guys. Drop all of that, all of your thoughts, anything that you love to see from the bot into the chat while Brett answers a couple questions. Go ahead, Brett.
Yeah, that's a great question to be able to start off, James. And it really is a good tie-in to one of the first questions that Dev123Cool had, which is, will you have any forms of collaboration with some bigger Web2 platforms or website, so that way you make your products known to the larger public? So there's a couple of different ways that we are going to be doing this. The first is through kind of Smoothie and Product Hunt. So as we get further along in our development cycle, we will be having kind of giveaways on those different types of platforms. I actually have relationships with both of them. And the idea is that the more eyeballs we can be able to get it in front of, the better. In terms of other collaborations with it, the answer is yes. So one thing that you could be able to do with it is, if you really think about how Brass ultimately is going to be separating ourselves from the competitors, is really that people are going to get the benefit of 3 different platforms all in one spot. So like if you're sourcing opportunities, whether it's like a LinkedIn or an Upwork or a Toptal or a Third Work or things like that, the fact that we can be both Web 2 and Web 3 friendly, meaning that we understand that there's Web 2 brands that are going to be entering into Web 3, our database of users and opportunities is that much bigger. Same thing with the verification side of things. Part of what the great thing about the bot is doing is that it's gathering data on what you guys are wanting. So kind of like what James is talking about right now. And as we go further through development, if we realize that you guys are specifically looking for opportunities in community management, for example, we know that that's where we need to be able to focus. We need to be able to identify what makes a positive community manager, what makes the top 1% community manager, what companies are looking for community managers, and when do they hire. And that leads into everything that we do. And so the bot not only becomes this great aggregator of opportunities, but events, news, contacts, gigs that you guys may not even be aware of. We can then be able to take that information, understand that you, person XYZ, has all the characteristics and traits that would make you successful for this position, and then be able to make that introduction. And so when it comes to kind of creating collaboration with Web 2 and Web 3 platforms, that's how we can be able to make ourselves known to the greater public, as well as create more opportunities for both individuals and businesses.
Fantastic. Brett, I'm going to jump in real quick and just reiterate to everybody. We love the questions. Brett's going to keep going. Okay. He's going to keep going. But I saw all those names. We have like 20 questions. Guys, please. The questions are great. We want to answer your questions, but please, today, let's really focus on giving us some feedback. Give us your honest feedback, like anything you think. The community, the bot, etc. We'll have some more questions dedicated for you. That first question still is the one that we really want to get some feedback on. We have 2 pieces of feedback so far. We'd love to get like 5 at least about the bot. What's the ultimate dream that you have for the bot, how it could be more useful to you. So please, I beg you guys, if you can please just drop your ideas into the chat while Brett answers another question. Don't be shy, please. Just go ahead and drop it in the chat. Go ahead, Brett.
Yeah, no, Guys, James is absolutely right. The more feedback that we get from you guys, the more value we can be able to provide. And then a lot of these questions are actually answered. So KK asks, has the bot started sending opportunities? I've set mine up already and didn't see anything. So the bot does have the capabilities of sending information directly into a user's DMs. So I'm not sure, KK, if you've filled out kind of what you're interested in, but that actually is one of the things that we're working on and kind of evaluating internally is how do we improve the quality of it? And I saw a question from a sorry, I'm probably mispronouncing this, but Cryptoebiola 10. So how we're incorporating AI into it specifically will be with, in the short term, AI matching. So being able to understand what users are interested in and being able to connect them to those opportunities. So the idea would be, in your case, KK, being able to say, hey, I'm really interested in opportunities specific to community management. I'm looking for remote roles. Here's my experience. Here's my background. And I'm looking for opportunities with this. And we could be able to send direct opportunities to you directly to your DMs. So that way you could be able to decide whether you want to act on that. And so that's kind of how that would be able to work overall. And then I'll answer one last one, James, before I kick it over to you that's kind of connected to this. So, in terms of releasing some kind of mobile app or gateway to all the products and services that you offer, yes. Long term, we will end up having an actual platform. Right now, the bot in Discord is a great way for us to be able to integrate with our existing communities. And if you think about it, the two major places where the most people are on in Web3 is either going to be Telegram or Discord. And then you could include Twitter in there as well. But from a community standpoint, we already had the framework in Discord. Mark and James are like world renowned experts in that areas. And this is why we want to have calls like this, because as the bot gets more developed and we frame it all out and we have like the actual user data and engagement, then we could be able to move it to a larger platform in the future, or just as the ecosystem grows, be able to do the same thing. So great question, Dev123, cool. And then James, I'll kick it over to you for any feedback from the community.
Fantastic. Thanks so much. So it seems like, the feedback so far is around some more points sliding towards task-based. Bo Rat says, combining with Idea Sir, a play to tap thing to earn points. Very small points, but sliding towards task-based. So some task-based point system. Very good feedback. I feel like the bot should be enabled to send real-time notifications for new opportunities, exclusive events, and important updates specific to Genesis. So that's actually a great suggestion, Amabe, and I'd like that kind of goes into my next question perfectly to you guys. We have one piece of feedback here from Amabe, so thank you so much for that. But the question that I want to ask is, what kind of notifications would be more helpful for you? So once again, this is your dream notification. If you can get a notification the minute a new job is posted, or if you could get a notification when, like, we're just talking just end goals here, like when a job is filled, or when a new company just posted, like like maybe a watch list of companies that you really want to work for. Whatever ideas you have, whatever pops into your head, what would be your ideal, or the ideal kind of notifications that would be most helpful to you in what you do in Web3? So go ahead, once again, drop those suggestions, ideas in the chat. And Brett, I'm sure we have a couple more questions that you could probably answer.
We do. So Dev123 Cool says, what happens if you hire someone through Brass Marketplace and you're not happy with his or her work? So the idea is that we'll have an escrow system with smart contracts and a proof of work. So the idea is that if you're not happy with their work, the money is going to stay in escrow until the work actually gets done. So one of the problems that you find with Upwork is, and I'm just using Upwork, they're a fantastic platform for what they do, It's just one of the things that would be there is whenever somebody does a job, you typically pay up front. And then from there, what happens is that if I'm a freelancer and I do the work and somebody basically says, no, 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 you didn't do this anyway, you as the person who bought that loses out on your money and the person who did the work doesn't get paid. So what we're doing is we're using smart contracts to be able to make sure that, hey, the money is in the contract prior to the work beginning, and it's released upon hitting these various benchmarks. So it could be on like a timeline basis to where once a month it gets deployed. It could be that when you hit certain benchmarks within the contract, it's deployed, or like when the job's fully finished. And so the idea is that if you're not happy with his or her work, not only would you not pay, but also it would be reflected in their overall reputation score, which I know we're going to be talking a little bit more about this later on next week. And I'll try and be as quick as possible as I can. But the idea is that your comprehensive reputation score is going to allow your profile to be able to level up, which means that over time, you could be able to get access to additional benefits. So if you don't buy a Genesis Pass NFT, for example, you're going to have like placement fees or transaction fees when you buy and sell services. But as you engage more with the platform, you build up your reputation score, those fees will go down. You'll get access to other benefits, but you will never get access to what people would be able to get if they are Genesis Pass holders. And it gets much deeper in detail with that. But those are a couple of ways that you can be able to protect yourself if you're not happy with their work, as well as be able to make sure that you can be able to give feedback so that way it affects the rest of the community, because we want to have transparency, professionalism, and trust. Whether it's I'm hiring a freelancer, they're hosting an event, somebody's referring a job, something like that. So that is the first question. And then there's another one that ties into that, which is what are the future benefits of this program apart from getting hired? So Crypto Real, when we look at this, it is so much more than getting hired. When we look at opportunities, we see it in the broadest sense. So what I mean by that is that there are people that may be in this group that don't care about having a job. They care about the events. They care about the investments. They care about the airdrops, play to earn, things like that. When those happen, it would be set up in a way where by being a part of this community, you would be able to get access to all those before anybody else would. When we really look out and see what do we see Brass Energy being 1, 2, 3, 5 years in the future, it's that if you're looking for anything in Web3, whether it's a job, whether it's an investment, whether it's an event, it's connections, whatever, you go into Brass. You look at the bot, it's set up to where it can give you notifications, it can connect you, it can identify what makes someone successful, it can be able to help you with an application or a registration link or things like that. And it's all done up where if you are anybody in Web3, you're a part of our community. And so as a Genesis Pass holder, being able to have access to all of these incredible people, whether it's people that are on the council, projects that haven't launched yet, really being able to solve the future problems of Web3 as it continues to be able to evolve. Like, how is AI going to be able to affect all these different industries? Something as simple as that. What are you seeing from, it could be market analysis. We could have different talent communities that are interested in specifics to Web3, but it could be not just jobs, it could be events, it could be investing, it could be trading, it could be news that's out there, it could be gaming. And so what we're building with this infrastructure really is not just about getting hired, but being able to have this professional social network like Dev123 Cool talked about, where it's all included within all of this, where everybody's validated. We understand that the skills are there. These businesses are successful. If you're looking for an opportunity or a job, we can connect you to it. If you're looking for help in a particular area, we can connect you to it. Or if you just want to be really forging the future of not just the future of work, but the future of Web3 as a whole, That's what we're doing.
Fantastic answer as always, Brett. And that last bit really, when you talked about it could be gaming, it could be anything, perfectly goes into my next question for the community. So I know we just got, by the way, killer answers, guys. Thank you so much. That was amazing. So we got a lot of like play to earn. We got a couple of those. So that's obviously one opportunity people would like to see. I know. One of our integrations has a bit of that, but obviously not enough. Or you guys want to be saying that you'd like some more of that. So fantastic, fantastic feedback. But what other types of opportunities or resources would you like to see aggregated, right? So this isn't just, maybe play to earn or some way to earn some tokens, but maybe it's upskilling, maybe it's free webinars, maybe it's the chance to, or the ability to speak to an entrepreneur and get some one-on-one time, or maybe it's whatever would be the ideal resource, not just opportunity from a token or monetization aspect, but for your personal development, for your career development, for your professional development. What would be some amazing resources? Once again, this could be, I mean, you could say, I'd love to speak to Bill Gates. Literally, like anything you can think of as a resource or opportunity that you love for us to go out, build some infrastructure to aggregate that, to take in all of that data from the internet and bring to your doorstep, right? Where you don't have to search, you don't have to find it, you can click a button, get access to whatever resource, whatever. Set up a calendar, right? Oh well, I don't know. I don't know if that was the answer to my question, or you're answering that, but that's a cool one. Like if you could set up a calendar directly in our bot, like there you go. That's our resource, right? Anyway, so yeah, that's my next question to you guys. What opportunities or resources would you like to see aggregated in the bot, brought directly to your doorstep? Do we have any more questions to go over, Brett?
We do. I see there's a couple in here, so I'm just going to be scrolling through the Discord feed. So Dev123Cool says he wants to know about the job offer. Will Brass cater to both freelancers and full-time opportunities, or will it focus on one category? So Dev123Cool, the idea is that it will focus on all types of opportunities. So that would be both freelance and full-time. Where we would start with this is going to be dependent on the feedback from our community as well as from partners that are hiring. For example, you don't want to boil the ocean, especially when you're creating all these AI agentic systems. We're doing the interview as a service in the future. And so you want to try and be able to start small and make sure that you're getting the best bang for your buck. And so that's why we're doing things like this, to understand what you guys really want, so we could be able to provide the value, because we can go off of the data that says, okay, 80% of the positions that are being hired are a combination of developers, marketers, community managers, for example. But if our community, if 80% of the people that are creating profiles and they're looking for jobs, for example, are graphic designers, then it would make sense for us to be able to focus on that first. And so the idea is that we would start in one particular area. We would identify the skills necessary to be successful in that role. So it could be, business skills, it could be any technical things, as well as soft skills. We would have questions within our software to be able to validate those skills, as well as on the business side, like what makes a graphic design firm successful, for example. And the idea is that once we find from the company perspective, once we find from the company's perspective what makes them successful and what makes a candidate successful, then we could be able to connect the two. And all that could be able to happen directly within the bot, and be able to make sure that that is set up in a way where we're able to streamline that entire process. And once we do it with one, we would then move both vertically as well as horizontally, meaning that we could start with, maybe you're the intro graphic designer, and we could work all the way up to a full UI UX designer, developer, kind of head of creative. And then from there, we say, okay, the next area where our community really finds value is community managers, starting from a moderator all the way up to a chief community officer, for example. And it won't take long for us to be able to start with one group. And over the period of a couple different areas where 3, 4, 5 months, we've been able to show that not only can we identify what makes these people successful, but we can connect them to opportunities. And if we could do that, let's just say for developers, community managers, business developers, graphic designers, and marketers, that's like 85 to 90% of the jobs that are out there. And see, once that's done, whenever we launch the marketplace, now we've been able to have that all integrated within the profiles. We could have millions of users in our database. We could have tens of thousands of businesses that could be able to say, wow, if I want to hire somebody, I want to go through Brass Energy's network. And that's why we're asking these questions about what information are you interested in. Same thing on the investment side. Like the capabilities of this bot and us being able to match people with opportunities and really understand what makes one of these successful could be as simple as that. Hey, I'm looking to be able to raise capital for a business. Okay, cool. Over time, we would love to be able to say, if your project meets these criteria, it passes through the bot. You've gone through the full validation process. You pitch to our Genesis Club. And we have hundreds of people that are in there that are looking for cutting edge projects that can be able to invest in. Like the possibilities here really are endless, but it starts with getting feedback from you guys rather than us just putting ideas out there that may not fit what you guys are looking for right now. Yeah, no problem, Dev123, cool.
Oh, sorry. I was putting out a poll, and it's a pop up, so I wasn't able to hop back in. Sorry about the lull there. But all right. So great feedback. Again, Amabe, killer. KK, good ideas there. By the way, guys, we're taking all of your feedback, all of your thoughts, all of your ideas, putting them down. But I did. The poll cannot be found. What happened to the poll? Mark, the poll's gone. What happened? I put a poll out. Did anybody see that? Mark, you're the poll guy. Here, I'm gonna send this to you. You're the expert Discord. I'm gonna send this over your way, dude. Hold on. Sorry, guys. I put out a poll and it disappeared on my end. So
while you're doing that, James, I see another question that I can
do.
answer.
Thank you.
Yeah, no worries. So there is a question or a suggestion that Amabe had where trying to be able to provide advanced courses, certifications, training programs. That is exactly what we have in our development roadmap. So if you think about it, the bot is really, if we think about what Brass Energy is, it's all about sourcing, validation, and matching. The bot is really sourcing all of these different opportunities and information to give access to you as quickly and as streamlined as possible. When we think about the validation, that is the interview as a service, really. And part of that is really identifying what types of certification experience skills make someone successful. So that way, Amabe, you're not looking at this massive professional development library, because I mean, there's tons of courses and programs that are out there. We want to be able to connect you to the information that allows you to be able to reach whatever degree of success you want. So that may be, I just want to be able to find a job. Well, instead of taking 10 different certifications, we'd rather say, Amabe, you're interested in development work. Based on your profile, this is what you have. These are the jobs that we can connect you to. And here's the one course experience certification that you need to be able to improve your reputation score and improve your profile to increase your chances of landing that job. And then when you're in that job, being able to do the same thing for whatever career aspirations you have. So Amabe, that's a great suggestion, and that's already part of what we're trying to be able to do, which all feeds into the matching. Because if we can source people, we can identify what they want, what makes them successful, then that connection point is truly endless.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Brett, for another killer answer. So, guys, we just put a poll. It is right here. Just scroll up a little bit in the chat. What exclusive bot feature would be most valuable for Genesis pass holders? There's a couple options there. Seems some of them gets cut off just because of character limitations. So I'm going to be adding in the context right here. I just put that in the chat. So please go over to that poll. There's an hour left on it. We can see who engages in that poll on the back end. So please engage. Click on what you think, on what you are actually interested in. Simple click of a mouse, and that can get you into potentially get you into the raffle for a free NFT. While that's going, one final question. Let's yeah, great idea, Brett, by the way. I just saw that. Final question is what do you like most? So it's kind of a two-part question. If you can give me just one thing that you like most and one thing that you use the most about the bot. So one thing that you like most and one thing that you use the most. So what do you like most about the bot and what feature do you use the most? Just drop that in the chat. Just one and one, very simple. We'd love to know what you guys think about this and what you actually enjoy, because what you use the most and what you enjoy the most, what you like the most, gives us a lot of data to work from, because we know what to build more of and maybe what to build out for you guys and add some more additional functionality to those features. So please drop that in the chat. Thank you guys so much. Or do we have any other questions? Brett, Mark?
I do see one that I want to be able to address. So Bo Rat says, what if you were going to do an airdrop with tone? So task-based post jobs, get points, and point percentage equals airdrop. Telegram has a lot of that. It's cool to see if Discord has one. So Bo Rat, we have thrown around a couple of ideas with this. So one of the ideas that we have thought about is kind of that similar system to where basically points equal tokens. And we have kind of mapped out that users that engage that get points can be able to get Brass tokens in the future when we launch them, as well as taking what works from the bot from an infrastructure standpoint. Once we've been able to identify, okay, people are clearly using it, it's in a stable model, and then being able to look at putting it on other platforms, whether that is like a website or being able to take a version of the bot and put it on Telegram. The main focus right now, though, is getting you guys' feedback and getting the bot in a state to where, one, there's a lot of value that's there. Two, we're getting more people to engage with it. And three, we're making it as simple as possible for you guys to get connected to the information that you want. Because if we can do that, we know that we can eventually be able to monetize the bot, which we can then use to be able to put it on these other areas. And so we've been throwing around a couple different ways of being able to monetize the bot from a business model perspective. But the focus for today was really, like James said, what value and features do you guys like? What opportunities would you want to be able to suggest? Because the more value we could be able to put into it, whether it's a pay-as-you-go approach, whether it's a membership, whether it's kind of like a full gamification landscape, we know the more value, the more people are going to engage, and the more value we could put up front for you guys, whether it's being able to purchase a Genesis Pass and have lifetime access, or for those that don't, but use the bot in its current state, you guys get value before we add in all these other features as well.
Fantastic. Killer answers. Look at that poll. The poll right now seems like everybody likes the idea of priority access. Not everybody. It's pretty even. It is kind of tilting that way. The other ones, direct connection to top employers and advanced analytics and market insights. That's my personal favorite, but I'm also a numbers nerd, and I like all those analytics and insights. Numbers, if it has numbers, I dig it. Um, Fantastic, though. I just want to thank everybody. We have a few more minutes, so if you have any other um, ideas, any other feedback, any other questions that you can that you want to give to us, um, it really means a lot. And once again, guys, for anyone who hasn't answered the last question, it's kind of a two-parter. If you could just put into the chat, it would really mean a lot. What do you like most about the BrassBot, and what features do you use most, or feature do you use most? Just do one and one. It's a specific feature. Do you use the DMs about gigs the most? Is that what you actually engage with the most? Do you engage with the feed directly in the community the most? What feature do you engage most, and what do you like most about the BrassBot? Send your answer in there.
And while we're waiting for answers, I'd also like to be able to get you guys' feedback on more of a structure like this for the AMA. Because I feel like if, especially whether it's once a month or once every couple of weeks, really being able to have more of a brainstorming session with you guys is incredibly valuable for us. So I'm interested on if you guys think we should continue this sort of structure every couple of weeks, or if you prefer it where it was previously, where we kind of had one topic that we talk about and we have a Q&A just centered around that. And I see some comments that are coming in. I'm just making sure that I've answered all the questions that were here. If I missed your question, I do apologize. I think I've hit most of them though. Just looking through this. Yeah, I think we've hit most of the ideas and questions. A lot of what you guys have said, whether it's the play to tap, we thought about actually being able to gamify part of this. Like we've thrown around different ideas where it's truly a pay as you go approach, to where the idea is that all these opportunities will be sent directly to you, meaning that like all the AI matching that James is talking about, whether it's like, hey, I'm interested in gigs, I'm interested in jobs, I'm interested in news or events or capital funding stuff, that's all free, sent directly to your DMs. And then the idea would be that if you wanted to act upon it, so if you wanted to apply to that job, you wanted the contact information for an investment, or you wanted to register for an event, that's when you would pay. So that way you know exactly what you're getting. And it would be just a very simple credit system to where it could be super easy and you could actually gamify it. But again, all this is we're continuing to be able to flesh out, but it seems as though a lot of people like this overall structure. Okay, well, I think that we've answered all of the questions. So, Mark, if you want to be able to pull up the wheel, and we could be able to go through and spin it for the NFT.
I think I'm in. Okay, alright. So, sorry, puberty here. So yeah, we have nine people right now. We have Crypto Real, Benny Maru, we have Stars, we have Amabe, we have Crypto Hood, Dev123 Cool, Crypto Abiola, Crypto Curator, and Blue. So these are the people that engaged, asked the question, hung out with us last week on our session. This week, if you're wondering why is my name not here, It will be on the next wheel. If you ask the question, hang out, or just share the good vibe. There is a question. Brett and James, I think you guys could answer this. Can you win twice? That's the question.
Yeah, so KK, we've talked about this internally, and the the answer essentially is yes. We're trying to be able to figure out the exact parameters of it, where maybe after you win once, if you get on the wheel again, it's a smaller percentage, or if you kind of engage and participate in the pre-sale or something like that. But the answer is yes, KK. You will be able to win multiple NFTs, where the idea is that these benefits will stack. So kind of like what we talked about, we actually had an individual who wanted to buy, I think it was 30, and did the math where if they bought 30 and they stacked all the benefits, they'd get about $100,000 worth of benefits. So, but yeah, we'll be fleshing that out on future calls and kind of take that internally to talk about how it could be able to work. But the short answer is yes. So even if you have won, continuing to engage and participate can be able to allow you the opportunity to win. Plus, it makes the project that much better.
Alright, so let's spin it. Do you guys see the wheel? Alright, if the person is not here, we're going to count the timer for like a minute and then respin. Alright, spin the wheel. Let's go. What is that? What does that mean? Alright. It's taking a while.
Beam bada.
Okay. Alright, who is it going to be? Is it going to be Amabe? I think it's going to be Amabe, I'm not sure. Is she here though? Is Amabe here? Ah, she's here. She's here. It's the question.
Is it going to be blue? Is it going to be blue? Is it going to stop right at the line? Nah, it's Amabe.
Congratulations, Amabe. Let's go. Congratulations.
Amabe in the chat. Amabe in the
Amabe
chat.
in the chat. Can you spam Amabe in the chat? Spam notif, please. Spam notif. Let's go. Congratulations, Amabe. Back to back. Is it her second time? Let's check. Is it her second? Okay. Is it her second time? Let's check.
No, it should be Amabe's first. Crypto Bay won another one.
Yeah. Okay. There's a lot of bay. Yeah. There's a lot of bay. There's a thing.
You got a lot of bay? I don't know if your wife would like to hear.
Like, my God, please don't tell her. All right, congratulations. Congratulations to Amabe. Thank you guys so much. And before we go, Brett and James, do you guys have any last words before we go?
Only thing I have is I just want to thank everybody. This was crazy. This was a really great AMA. I appreciate every one of your feedback. I say this every time I'm on here, and I do a little wrap up. Is that we wouldn't be here without you, and I mean it. And today, just kind of exemplifies that fact. These questions that we ask you guys, we're asking them for a reason, and we wouldn't have any sense of direction if you guys didn't give us feedback, if you didn't open tickets when there are issues, if you didn't say things in the general chat to give us some type of idea of what you're interested in, if you didn't ask questions, and if you weren't even here in the first place. There would be absolutely no reason for us to do this. So thank you so much for supporting us as we build out this amazing ecosystem to support all of you.
Yeah, just echoing what James said. Thank you guys so much for everything you do. If you think it's a bad question, know that there is not a type of those. Every question, every bit of feedback we go over as a team. And so it's great to be able to see that we had as much engagement on this, a lot of great ideas, and look forward to the next one with you guys.
Bye, guys.